All right, I'm here with Clayton Murphy, who just ran a world-leading 143.17 in the men's 800 meters to take first place. I'll start with this, Clayton. Just what are your thoughts on how well you executed that race?
I guess you could say I executed it to perfection. World lead, trials champion, making it to Tokyo. I just can't complain one bit. It was one tough last 6 months, especially the last 8 days have been extremely tough. And to have the people I have around me, from my wife to my coach to my therapist to the team back home, that was an individual 143, but far from an individual accomplishment, that's for sure.
I'll be asking questions on behalf of the media. The first question is from S. Dougla. Will you detail your training setup from the breakup of the Oregon project through now, and why is that's the case?
I transitioned back to Coach Labady after the Oregon project, and I made a comment indoor. It's kind of like last indoor season. It was kind of like riding a bike. You kind of get back on with Coach Labady and we click. I'm obviously 5 years more mature. I'm 5 years stronger, 5 years faster. And so we've just been able to kind of build on what worked in 2016 and kind of just add a little spice to it, you want to say, add a few more things to it, elaborate on things and have more of a fluid conversation between coach and I. And it's obviously kind of starting to click when it matters here.
This question is from Tyler Tackman, the Oregonian. How did you stay poised with the bigger expectations to make the team this year compared to 2016?
Yeah, there's obviously huge more expectations 5 years into my career. Obviously, coming off a bronze medal, you add a lot of when you add titles to your name, the pressure, the bullseye kind of gets bigger on your back. And I just kind of accept that role. I kind of enjoy that role. I like to read things and see what's being said out there. And one of the things being said was like kind of I was one of many to make the team along with Bryce and Donovan. I was kind of in that second tier group, and I kind of like that little bit of a chip on the shoulder or that the doubt. And so I kind of took it to heart a little bit, and kind of my team and myself knew that I wasn't that person. So I just kind of want to show everybody that I guess I deserved a lock, I guess.
And going into that, I mean, some athletes will say they don't want to do anything with, what's out there, what's being written, what's being said. Why do you think that's something that you want to do, is see what's being written about you?
I think because I used to try to just block it out. And with social media nowadays and with the way our sport is and how really small actually our sport really is, it's hard not to see it at least. And so at this point, I just accept it. I kind of enjoy it. I read about every other event and I'm invested as a fan in every other event. So it's hard not to just skip over the 800. Like I'm reading about the women's 8, the men's 15, the women's 15. Like it's hard not to read the middle distance preview and not see your name and at least see what they're saying. So instead of kind of trying to fight it or not see it, I kind of just accept it and be like, I guess you're one of the doubters. And it's kind of like, you can kind of put that in the back of my head. And as long as I handle it the right way, it's only motivation.
This question's from Jonathan Galt. Clayton, after crossing the finish line, you struck a pose with crossed arms. What did that gesture mean to you, and what were you thinking in that moment?
So it's funny. I obviously I watch a lot of F1. I watch a little bit of Euro Cup and soccer, and Mbappe's kind of crossed arms. Verstappen won the French Grand Prix yesterday and sat on his car and crossed his arms. And I saw a tweet about it a couple hours before the race, and I was staying in the mirror of the bedroom as my wife and I were getting ready to leave, and I crossed my arms, and Ari's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I think this might be my celebration if I win." I was like, "I gotta win, but I think this might be it." And adrenaline and joy and everything just went through me, and I was just like, I'm going back on what I was gonna say I was gonna do, and just paid homage to two of the greats in sports, and just had fun with it today.
Another question from Jonathan Galt is, how do you feel your fitness compares to 2016?
I'm a completely different athlete than what I was in 16. I'm stronger on the top end. I'm faster on the top end. I've actually not been able to do a lot of 800 meter work specialty. It's been a lot of strength work and speed work on one end of the spectrum or the other. It's not been a lot of true 800 work, and it kind of melded together. So I'm super excited about what I can do over the next 6 weeks and actually train, you could say, like an 800 meter runner. And so obviously this week has been extremely tough. I've been dinged up the last 8 days and got here and really just ran on pure toughness this weekend. And it's just a joy and an honor to be able to represent the United States and go back to the Olympic Games and try to bring home another medal for us.
This question is from Tyler Tackman from the Oregonian. Are you willing to go more into depth about what's been so difficult about the last 8 days?
I wasn't going to, but Thursday before I left, I had a pretty serious hamstring strain that I've run about 13 miles total since that Thursday before I left, including racing, cooling down, and warming up. So it's been a let's get to the line and see what happens every day. And it's had a little bit to do with my patience this weekend. But the adrenaline of an 800, the adrenaline of the crowd, Hayward, the pressure of the team, everything kind of trumps any pain or weakness I may have in that. And so it's just been a lot of grit and determination the last 8 days to get through what I've got through.
Question from Jonathan Galt. Will you still be running the 1500 at this meet?
I'm not going to say yes or no. More than likely, no. But I'm not going to rule it out. I'm going to enjoy the next couple hours and then decide what the plan is after that. So I'm not going to rule it out, but I'm not going to sit here and say I am.
Question from Doug Binder. Looking back on your move back to Ohio in 2020, how has it benefited you?
I mean, it's just been comfort. Obviously, we were kind of left with options post Doha 2019, and felt like it was the most comfortable option for myself and for my wife, and kind of gave us a fresh start. And there's a lot of factors that go into it beyond running as well. I think a lot of people don't think about that or think that factors into our decisions. But obviously, my wife and I have future plans that we want to do, and she has career and what she wants to accomplish. So there's factors that go into that as well. So as a team and as a unit with Ari and I, we made the best decision for us and what we could do to both kind of have the best possible lives and have success in our own ways.
Another question from Tyler Tackman from the Oregonian. When did you get the Olympic logo tattoo on your shoulder, and why did you decide to get it?
That was post 2016 Rio. I think it was like November after. So I got that after I came back from the games. It kind of had a down break, and it was a elaborate decision of where to get it. And so the shoulder and the color was the final decision. And obviously it's kind of inked in stone now, and maybe we'll add to it a little bit after Tokyo.
Question from Jonathan Galt is, Donovan Brazier is the reigning world champ and won't be in Tokyo. How do you evaluate your gold medal chances?
It's obviously disappointing to not have Donovan, but we're sporting a pretty damn good team. 3 really extremely tough guys are representing the United States, and there's obviously a lot of extremely tough competition throughout every country. So there's a lot of time between now and Tokyo for the next star to emerge, or for other gold medal contenders to emerge. But obviously, world lead and a U.S. champion puts a pretty big bullseye on my back, and so go back to my original statement, kind of accepting that role and having fun with it, and gonna attack the next 6 weeks and be ready to go in Tokyo and try to set myself to bring home a medal.
This question is from Rich Sands. At what point in the race did you feel like you were going to win?
Never. I think that's it. I had no idea what was behind me. I was trying to do the good old look up at the video board thing, and I did it about, I think, once or twice, and I realized that if I kept looking at my fall on my face, as heavy as my legs were the last 50 meters. So I wasn't sure what Isaiah Jewett had in his legs at the end, and went after him, and just I knew there's got to be somebody coming with us potentially, but I couldn't tell. I couldn't hear. The stadium was going crazy. I was lactic acid was head spinning, so I just kind of pushed all the way through the line and gave it all I had.
Yeah, and what are your thoughts on Isaiah Jewett, the way he opened up that lead in the first lap and still held on to second place?
Man, he's been going since what, January, February, and just laying down marks and running well, and an NCAA champion. And actually, before the first round, I could see him kind of being a little uneasy in the car room, and I just walked over and I was just like, "Hey, it's a little different to run with NCAA champ next to your name." And he's like, "Yeah." It's like, "You still got to race 800, you still got to race the same guys." It's like nothing changes, and I could just see him take that deep breath. And I knew he was a tough runner. I knew he was talented, and he laid it all out there and earned himself a spot on the team. And it's super cool to see that, because obviously I was that collegiate kid that did that in 16. So now it's cool to kind of see him step up and take on that collegiate guy role on the team and be the young gun, I guess.
And similar question from Jonathan Galt. Was it tough to lay off the pace in that first lap, and how did you stay patient?
That's not necessarily been the way I've run since 2016. I've been very more aggressive, but this weekend I've been very patient and confident through that middle part of the race. And so I knew I had to be slightly more aggressive this race than I was in the semifinal, and I moved down that backstretch well, and kind of didn't let people get in front of me, and it was a lot more aggressive I think back to like 2019 on the backstretch when I kind of got shoved straight back, and I think I could have won that race had I not ran so. I used the word stupidly all weekend, but ran so lackluster down the backstretch like I did in 2019. So I ran super aggressive down the backstretch and made sure that I was in a position with 150 meters to go to put myself on the team and give myself a chance to win the race.
Another question from Pat Graham, Associated Press. Is this the nice part about the Olympic trials, that anything can and does happen?
I think this is the most special moment in our sport. It's the most pure way to pick a team. It's the most pure way to enjoy this moment. And somebody was saying, like, you've got a lot of escorts now, or you've got a lot of pictures to take. And I said, this is what all those workouts on the track, all those days in the weight room, all those early nights, all those vacations and stuff that we give up as athletes. This is where I will sit here and talk to you guys and sit here and take pictures with fans and have escorts and celebrate with family as much as I can, because this is where all of our hard work pays off. And to get to enjoy these moments is why the Olympic trials are so special.
You mentioned earlier about being a fan of the other races, being just a fan of the sport in general. Who are some athletes in particular that you are the biggest fan of?
Oh man, last night, like, that 100 was insane. To see Kenny Harrison get on the team, that men's 4. I obviously missed the pole vault. The way Krauser's like chucking a shot put, the way it looks like it looks like he's chucking a skee ball. Like, he took a skee ball and everybody else is throwing a shot put, and he's just you need a bigger ring out there for him now. It's such a fun meet. I'm gonna head home and recover and watch from home, but I'm super excited to just see what the rest of the meet does. I'm obviously a fan of the 1500 coming up and the men's 5 and all these races that are just gonna be a lot of fun to watch. The women's 100 was fun. Like, Shikari is just dominating, so it's just a fun sport to be a part of right now.
And last question, do you have any specific ideas for how you're going to celebrate today?
Do for a glass of wine with the family, dinner, and probably visit the good old Wild Duck. Probably, it seems like the go-to place in Eugene tonight. I guess Taylor's is no longer a thing. Us OGs would know about Taylor's. So we'll find fun ways to celebrate tonight and enjoy this moment.
Awesome. Congrats and thank you.
Thank you.